Harinder Singh Sabharwal is a martial artist and the creator of Jeet Kune Do Athletic Association and Warriors Way. Along with his students, he has started an organization called the Damini Project. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Pune, just outside of Mumbai,
Okay.
and but I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and that's where I did all my high school and everything, and then came to UC Davis to play tennis,
Okay.
and then did my computer engineering over there. That's how I got to California.
So from computer engineering, how did you get into martial arts?
I've been in martial arts my whole life since I was 6 years old, doing karate. And I used to teach also. It was like one of my part-time jobs growing up in high school. In college, there was an incident that happened during a celebration where it got really violent, got out of hand, and life and death kind of a situation. So after that point, it was like an intervention by God that saved us. So after that, I decided, hey, I've been studying martial arts for all these years, but the reality of it, or of what I was going to do in that moment, didn't happen the way that you had practiced it. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen the way you had done it. So that started my search. So after that, what I did was I searched the world to find the best martial arts masters, people who work with the government, the military, professional fighters, things of that nature, and started to just research. Mm-hmm. And then I came across Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune Do, and Dan Inosanto and Paul Vunak, a guy named Paul Vunak. And they are the bearers of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. They've kept it alive after BruceLee passed away. Most people think Bruce Lee's just a movie star, right? Does all the kicks and the screaming and all that. But, he was like the Einstein of martial arts. Mm-hmm. To many people who are in martial arts, regardless of what style they do, they're doing it because of him. Yeah. They're doing it because they watched a movie of his. Yeah. And still to this day, you don't see somebody on screen with that kind of a charisma, with that kind of an energy, because it was real. He wasn't acting, so it was that thing that still to this day hasn't been matched. And my teachers then, who took it on from Bruce Lee, Guru Dan Inosanto and Paul Vunak, started to train the military, the Navy SEALs, the FBI, the CIA, and I kind of just followed along in their footsteps and did my apprentice and became an instructor, and then I went to help and assist with seminars. And then after a while, I just started to do it. I was working, and then in the Silicon Valley, I was a computer science engineer at a company called Xilinx. And then, I did the engineering part of it, then I did the marketing part of it, and the business management part of it. But it just wasn't, what made me feel good. I didn't want to wake up every day. I thought something was wrong when I woke up every day and was like, I want to go back to sleep. Yeah. Right? When you grow up, your parents tell you, they look out for you, especially being Indian, that you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, or you got to be an engineer, So one of those three and you're good. So I followed that path, and I got out and I started working, and I said, oh, this doesn't really make me happy. Mm-hmm. So never in that question did I realize what made me happy. It says Bruce Lee here, and Lei Su Long is his Chinese name, and Be Like Water. This is our uniform shirt, and it's so important that we put it up on the front to say Be Like Water, because water has this feature of adaptability. So you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a container, it becomes the container. You see, it can adapt to it. Water has the ability to crash through rocks and be as powerful as a tsunami and change the face of the earth. Water also can be so thin, it can go through the cracks of a pipe and explode your pipe system in your house. So water is this thing that is so amazing, and it changes, and it's from this natural principle that you can really use in life. So how do you look at obstacles? Do you always try to crash through them, or do you find a way around them? So like I said, it's life philosophy. It's not so much the physical stuff. The physical stuff, the training, the conditioning, the punching, the kicking, are just all a vehicle to learn to express yourself, really.
Tell me more about your association. What is it focused on?
So we have, you think of it like a modern day martial arts instructors club and college at the same time. Okay. It's like a teacher's college. So all of my people that come to me are instructors. They're martial arts instructors already. Okay. They own schools, they work with the military, they coach fighters, or they run kids schools. Some of my instructors have schools with over 300 kids, right? Other of my instructors are solely working with SEALs and cops and stuff like that. So I have a wide variety and spectrum. And what we do at the Jeet Kune Do Athletic Association is we have structured programs and curriculums, much like a college program, where you come in, you enter, and you start to learn this knowledge. And the knowledge is broken up into 3 areas. Number 1, technically. So you start to learn the techniques and what they are, the curriculum, what the different programs would be to teach military versus to teach kids, you know, and you start to learn that. Then the next thing you start to learn is the physical part and the development of the physical. So I take them through stages of development through training and things of that nature and guide that. Then the next piece from there is their teaching ability. How good a teacher are they? Because if you're coming to be a martial artist, your job is a teacher. And if you're a guide, really, to whoever's coming to you, they're coming to you to help show them a different way in life, really. That's what it's about. So how do we teach? How do we communicate to people? How do we properly get our message across? And then the final thing is, okay, being able to control your emotions under deep pressure. That's the key thing. So I could label it fighting. I could call it giving a presentation. I could call it public speaking or giving it an interview, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's controlling the emotional dimension under stress. So I give them techniques to get all of this together, and they then can go and perpetuate the message. And the message comes from Bruce Lee. Yeah.
Can you tell me some of the things that you've incorporated from India?
Yeah, one of the main things, we do a lot of pranayama breathing to quiet the mind and get in the zone. And the other thing that we incorporate, I was one of the first people to bring the gada, or Hanuman's gada, which is this device here. It's about 50 pounds, and it's an Indian mace. The gada means wrestler's mace. And it comes from India, and it's over 3,000 years old. And right now we have our military in America swinging these. We have SWAT guys swinging these. I have Secret Service guys swinging these because it gets you really strong really quickly and involves your whole entire core. And this is the main exercise we do. And you swing, and you just swing like this for hundreds. And you can become really, really strong. It's a different kind of strength. And once you get that, you can start to do it with one hand.
Can you tell me a little about Warrior's Way?
The experience that I've had in corporate America before kind of gave me a little bit of an insight into the corporate culture, how it kind of works. And then after I've been teaching martial arts full time, one of the main things that the different agencies I work with that they bring me in for is the ability to control the emotional dimension, especially under stress, under pressure. So if you're running through the, you know, you're trying to pull your mission off and boom, bullets are flying by your head. How do you stay in the present moment? How do you stay focused on your mission and not worry about getting home to your family? Or not worry about, oh my God, somebody else has been hit over here and you have to take care of them. How can you be in the moment and kind of raise your performance levels? You know, we talk about it as the zone in sports, but with the military and people I work with, it's not like by chance you can be in there. Yeah. You have to be there every time. And a lot of the strategies that they use and some of the things that I teach are just passed on by ancient masters. Bruce Lee was just one of the people that keep passing it on. I mean, we're looking at strategies that come down from Miyamoto Musashi, who wrote the Book of Five Rings, Gorin no Sho, and Sun Tzu, The Art of War. These are all books that are on Harvard Business, you know, reading reviews and things of that nature. So one of the things that I do with Warrior's Way is that we take our fearless leadership and battlefield strategies and we implement them with corporations. So I work with people like Morgan Stanley to Franklin Templeton, to many other people, individual clients that work for other companies and things of that nature. And the thing that I help them with is to overcome fear, to overcome becoming panicky in that situation. If you're in like a boardroom meeting and you're presenting something and it's a negotiation, really intense, going back and forth, tension starts to rise, you know, you start to get nervous. How do you deal with that? And a lot of that has to do with the mind and the constant chitter chatter in the mind. I give them techniques to show them how they can get into the present moment, how they can stop the chitter chatter in their head, and how they can increase their performance levels. Because if you're not worried up pure thinking, then your brain's processing power is much greater, and it can be devoted to observing. And these are all the very old school principles that I kind of am trying to bring back to you know, the Silicon Valley, corporate America, and share with them these fun kind of corporate building strategies and things of that nature that can make them successful and at the same time help raise their performance levels.
You and your students have have started something really amazing, and there needs to be more people like you guys. What is the Damini Project?
I'm sure most people know, in December of 2012 in Delhi, this young girl named Jyoti over there, Damini was the name that was given to her before they released her full name. And she was the girl that was brutally raped on a public bus during the day in Delhi. Now that kind of thing happens all the time over there, and it's such a horrible thing. But this event, I don't know what it was, but for myself and a lot of my students, it really struck a chord to us. So what we decided to do, all my instructors together with a few of some of my top instructors really came in together, built a website called the Domini Project. And what they did with that is, what we did is we have free training online for women. So anybody out there want to get some free kind of self-defense training, go to thedominiproject.com. You have free self-defense lessons there, everything from situational awareness, how to be aware around what's going on, to how to use a weapon like a knife or a stick or your purse, to what to do if you're pinned to the ground, to what to do if there's multiple attackers. To what to do with how to use basic things like pepper spray and stuff like that. So just a very basic introductory thing. We wanted to use the internet, so if somebody wanted to and is afraid, they have a resource. The next thing that we did with that is that all of our instructors in the JKD Athletic Association, along with Assert Empowerment and Progressive Self-Defense Systems, which are two smaller companies that a set of my students run, we put this project together, and the goal with this is that our instructors come together and they hold free self-defense workshops for women. And our goal is to do this once a quarter and all across. So this last one that we did it in March. We had all over the United States. We had Canada, we had it in Mexico, we had it in the UK, we had it in New Zealand, we had it in India. One of my instructors, Arun Sharma in Delhi, I'm really proud of this guy. He lives in Delhi, he's right over there, and he really took this project to heart and started to travel all around to different girls' schools every other day, offering this thing for free. And literally for like the last 4 or 5 months, he's trained over, I'd say 4,000 women in the Delhi area alone for free. Total with all of our people, we've trained close to 6,000 women right now. And our goal is to get more instructors, more martial arts instructors that are out there that are teaching martial arts to kind of step up a little bit. And we provide you the program. You can learn the program through us, and then there's no fees or anything like that associated with it. And then you go out and you do it too, so you join the cause. As martial artists, we have a responsibility to the community, and we have a responsibility to help when we can. The strategies we're teaching you is not stuff that you're going to learn in a karate school or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be stuff that you're going to apply right away. It's very brutal. It's the same kind of things I work with the military and female agents that are undercover and overseas and stuff like that.
We don't hang out and practice though. Yeah, this is what you guys do on your free time.
No.